There's always a feeling that you're being watched. So you kind of... What the frick? The Geronimo Trailhead. A deep, manly voice. Beard. Hello. I am here at my camp spot. It is dark. Yes. I am going to start cooking dinner. Over here, I have 2 fires. One propane and one real fire. I just set up the propane fire while I was gathering wood, but I think I might actually cook on the propane fire because it is cleaner. And then I can build up the real fire for ambiance. So I originally planned on camping near the Geronimo Trailhead, but once I got there, there was a sign that said that you can't camp within 200 feet of the creek, and that's pretty much the only flat area there, so I had to take a detour and went down another fork of the road to find this spot. Have you ever noticed how hearing a recording of your own voice sounds gross and terrible? Well, not for everyone, but for a lot of people, and I am one of them. Whenever I talk into a microphone and I hear my recording later on, I think that I sound like this. And I imagine that it's about the same for everyone because you hear yourself through the vibrations in your sinuses. So you kind of... What the frick? Just a squirrel. Nothing to worry about. Pine cones falling off the tree. Going back to my scout days, I worked at Camp Geronimo. We would hear the story of the Mogollon Monster. And he apparently lives in this area that I'm camped in. I don't remember the whole story off the top of my head, but it goes something like an Indian chief who is ousted from his position goes to the great spirits and he asks them for the ability to get revenge on his enemy. And over a time he finds that he can run faster, he can lift bigger weights. He no longer needs a bow and arrow to hunt deer. He can chase them and kill them with his bare hands. So he goes back and he attacks the tribe that he was once the chief of, and he accidentally kills his lover and is cursed to live in that wretched state until the end of time or something like that. And they tie the story into the history of the camp. The sons of the original owner of the ranch where the camp was built apparently had some sort of run-in with the Mogollon Monster. Anyway, so who knows about how much of the story is fabricated? Well, obviously most of it. It was all lies, but they were entertaining lies, and in the end, isn't that the real truth? The answer is no. Anyway, so, having heard that story over the years, when I was a impressionable youngin', it kind of brings a nervousness to camping alone in this area. There's always a feeling that you're being watched. I actually remember when I worked at the camp, I would often go walking at night, sometimes with a flashlight, but sometimes without, because I had been benighted. I didn't bring a flashlight because it was light when I left. Luckily, I knew the trails well enough that I could find my way home without a light. Sometimes, when it was late at night, past curfew for the campers, around midnight, I'd be walking back to my tent, and I would see deer out in the meadow. And one night there was a big herd of deer, and luckily I had a flashlight with me at this point. It was a big 4D mag light. This mag light was a gift at my Eagle Court of Honor. I don't remember who gave it to me. I christened her Helga, the flashlight of much girth. Anyway, it was a big giant flashlight that you could bash someone with. It was basically a billy club with a light on the end. So as I was walking through the meadow, I saw to my right a herd of deer, and that wasn't usual to see deer in the camp because all the scouts run around and they're loud and obnoxious, and usually larger animals stay out of camp. But late at night, you would see deer come into the camp and frolic in the meadows and eat the grass. So this particular night, I was walking home on my own, and I looked to my right, and there was probably about 50 deer. Maybe that's an exaggeration. There was probably about 25 deer. I look to my left, and I see, crouched on a rock, a cougar, a mountain lion, getting ready to attack the deer, I assume, and I'm right between them, which is not a place that you want to be, believe me. I get Helga into bashing position, and I walk calmly on my way, trying my best to not look like prey. And then I got back to my tent and went to sleep. Sorry about that. My fire went out due to neglect. Enough of my blabbing. I'm gonna get dinner ready. I got me a hamburger from an old man's freezer, and I'm gonna cook it and eat it. Hamburger! Let me impart to you a secret of the culinary variety. Salt-free seasoning and salt. What else could you ever need? Gonna cook my old man burger. Gonna put some salt on it. Gonna mash that stuff into the stuff and flip it over and do it again. Gonna take our burger, put it in a pan, take it over here. And we're gonna put the pan on the fire. Ouch. Cooking. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Food. Well, it is bedtime here. I am all comfy up in my blanket. I've got my window covers on to block out the light when the morning comes. I have my keys hung up by the door so I don't lose them. And I'm all ready to listen to my mystery stories and drift off to dreamy, dreamy land. Okay, well, I will see you tomorrow then. Good night. Good morning, everybody. I am out here on Control Road. I had a nice sleep in my car bed. There's snow on the ground. In the shady areas. So I'm gonna eat some breakfast. Yep. Okay, bye. Hello. I have packed up camp. And by packed up, I mean I just put a chair and the fire pit in the car. That's all the packing it takes. So I'm gonna head out, go to the Geronimo Spring Trailhead. I'm here at the trailhead. Ooh, map! I am right here. I'm gonna hike up to Bear Spring. Yep. So this is actually part of the Arizona Trail. This trail goes from Mexico all the way up to Utah. Someday I'm gonna hike that trail, probably in pieces, not at once. But yes, it's about 800 miles in total. Got to sign the trail log. Today is 2/6. Oh, someone lost their dog. That's sad. Well, let's go. Highline Trail. I'm already lost. Just kidding. It goes this way. A bunny. Now that is a widowmaker if I've ever seen one. That big dead tree across the trail is being hauled up by that little twig. Well, I better not stand under it too long. Well, here I am at Geronimo Spring. The spring is just up there. Obviously, I'm not going to get right up to it because of all these blackberry bushes. I just found a spot of cell signal. So I'm going to sit here under this oak tree and answer some emails. Yep, there we go. That's my phone exploding. I have come upon a crappy situation. Pun intended. You've got deer poop, cow poop, and bear poop. I thought that you might like to know. Good. Carry on. Well, here I am at Bear Spring. And by at Bear Spring, I mean it's over there somewhere. And it has been tapped. And there is a water spigot here. And it's dry. Oh no, it's capped off. I remember riding horses up to this ridge when I worked at the stables at Camp Geronimo. We sat around this fire and ate lunch and whatnot. Behind me you can see the Mogollon Rim. It is a large, several thousand foot cliff that cuts across a large part of central Arizona. In the story, the deposed chief climbs up the rim, and it's between those two pillars where he is said to have communed with the Great Spirit and received his powers, beginning his transformation into the Mogollon Monster. Heading back down now. Down is always easier than up. It's funny how when you hike up a mountain, it can take like an hour. Then you hike back down and it only takes like 15 minutes. I see the road, which means I'm almost back. We have returned. So we're gonna cook lunch here before I head out from the trailhead. Pour in the rice. Cooking the chicken, and we mix it into the sauce.
Chicken!
Limit 10 tons. Oh, too fat for the bridge.